What you are watching here is Captain Ibrahim Traore arriving in Russia for Russia Victory Day. May 9, 2025, Russia's Victory Day, celebrated annually on May 9th, commemorates the Soviet Union's defeat of Nazi Germany in World War II, known as the Great Patriotic War in Russia. The holiday marks the signing of the German Instrument of Surrender in Berlin on May 8, 1945, which took effect at 11:01 p.m. Moscow time, making May 9 the official victory date in the Soviet Union. The war, which began with Germany's invasion of the Soviet Union in June 1941, was catastrophic, costing millions of Soviet lives. Estimates range from 20 to 27 million, including soldiers and civilians. Key battles like Stalingrad and Kursk turned the tide against the Nazis, leading to the Red Army's advance into Berlin. The victory solidified the Soviet Union's status as a global superpower but left deep scars. Victory Day was first celebrated in 1945. With spontaneous nationwide rejoicing, it became an official holiday in 1965 under Leonid Brezhnev, with military parades in Moscow's Red Square showcasing Soviet might. The event grew in scale, featuring veterans, tanks and flyovers, symbolizing national pride and resilience. After the Soviet Union's collapse in 1991, the holiday briefly lost prominence but was revived under Vladimir Putin as a cornerstone of Russian identity, emphasizing patriotism and military strength. Today, Victory Day includes parades, concerts, fireworks and tributes to veterans across Russia. The Immortal Regiment March, where citizens carry photos of relatives who fought, has become a poignant tradition. Globally, the day resonates in former Soviet states, though interpretations vary, with some nations viewing it through the lens of Soviet occupation. In Moscow, it remains a potent...
Ibrahim Traore, President of Burkin Faso, welcomed in Putin's country last year, Soviet Union, as they are celebrating their win. And Ibrahim Traore, an African gentleman, new leader on block, who is celebrated everywhere, was welcomed as a hero. And after that warm welcome on a red carpet, he automatically went in to meet President Putin, and they had to discuss these issues about Africa. Listen. Oh boy. That is our boy Traore. Making it happen, yo. Oh wow. What a meeting.
Mr. President, friends, we are very glad to see you. And first of all, I would like to thank you once again for making this decision to participate in the commemorative events to honor the 80th anniversary of the victory in the Great Patriotic War. I remember our constructive and useful conversation back in 2023 when you visited our country for the first time to participate in the Russia-Africa Summit in St. Petersburg. This time, your visit to Russia to celebrate the 80th anniversary of the victory is a great symbol, and it reflects the friendly character of relations between Burkina Faso and Russia. And I would like to mention your contribution, your country's contribution to defeating German Nazism and its allies. Some 30,000 Burkinabe fought with the anti-Hitler coalition forces under the guidance, under the leadership of legendary Frenchman Charles de Gaulle. And now we are united by our joint goal to fight against terrorism and extremism, and we will continue to support the Republic and restoring constitutional and lawful order to fight.
Wow, happy to hear that. Joined together to fight Nazism, terrorism, That's fine. Yeah. True.
against unlawful factions that are still operating in some parts of Burkina Faso. In recent years, we have accomplished great progress in mutually beneficial cooperation in various fields. In the end of 2023, after more than 30 years of hiatus, the embassy of Russia in Ouagadougou was turned operational again. And the economic cooperation is also important, even if trade is modest. It's growing, which is a good trend, and we need to preserve it. And we will continue to work together on further strengthening our economic ties and diversify further our trade cooperations. And it was useful to hold economic days of Burkina Faso in Russia that were held in 2024. And it was attended by the high-level Burkinabe delegation led by the Deputy Prime Minister, and we are working now on establishing intergovernmental commission. We have already established a working group to look into that matter, and we will continue to support your country in training personnel in 2024 and in 2025. The quota of Russian state scholarship for Burkinabe nationals was more than doubled, and this year we are ready to receive 27 more students from your country at the state's expense, and in total, more than 3,500 Burkinabe received higher education in Russia. Cultural and humanitarian ties also play an important part, and it is assisted by the Russian house that is operating in Ouagadougou since 2024. In particular, they are teaching Russian language there. There is a great potential in cooperation in the field of healthcare and sanitary regulations. Recently, on April 24-25, Madam Popova visited Ouagadougou and discussed the development of scientific and research infrastructure and training of personnel. We also prioritize.
There we go. That's the president. Developing technology, science, bro, in his country. Bro, Burkinabe is now a different thing, bro. Burkinabe is now the candle, is now the light of Africa. Bro, if you try one day to go to Burkinabe and you see what Traore is doing there, bro, you thank this guy. You thank this gentleman 1,000 times, bro, that Burkinabe is now the world is like, bro, everything is now fine, yo. The country is under construction. Everywhere, loads are going everywhere. In every part of the country, every village must have a tamaki load. Yo, every village must have an industry and a basing on what you grow. Yo, what you produce, what you grow in your village. You grow tomatoes? Do you grow sugar cane? What do you grow? Then they give you a factory to process that plant, and then you get the final products, which you get and sell in the supermarkets. All supermarkets in Burkinabe, they are entitled to sell only Burkinabe made products, Burkina Faso made products. Nothing from China, nothing from outside. All the products they sell in their supermarkets, in their stores, there must be made in Burkinabe. That's why he is constructing factories in every village, in every district, in every province, so that people of that province, what they grow, they produce and get the product, the finished product, and supply their supermarkets. Bro, the guy is developing the country, and he is on it. These are the leaders we need in Africa.
Prioritize humanitarian support for Burkina Faso. Last year, we allocated 25,000 tons of wheat free of charge, and this month we are going to send a large supply of other food products to Ouagadougou. We appreciate the support from Burkina Faso and many international platforms, including the UN and other multilateral platforms. A useful format of cooperation is the consultations between Russia and Sahel States Confederation. April this year, such a session was held in Moscow. with the foreign ministers. There are good prospects in many areas, and we will have a chance to discuss some of them today. Thank you for your attention.
Wow.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, Mr. President. I hope I pronounced my felicitation properly. For me, it was an honor to be part of these commemorative events devoted to the great victory anniversary, and I would like to thank you for inviting us. It was a great honor for us. And I need to say that during this visit, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about culture, about history, that laid the foundation of the resistance of the Russian people, of its struggle. I learned of sacrifices your people made, and due to these sacrifices, we are free now. And I would like to thank you once again for this invitation, and this meeting allows us to think about what's happening in the world today and to think about the prospects as well. The obstacles that we can see today must not stop us. These obstacles, in some way, they are even an advantage, because despite all the sanctions that were imposed on the Russian Federation by many states, Russia is still holding the leading position internationally, and we understand this. We understand how difficult it is.
Yeah.
And I watched the parade. I watched the soldiers marching in front of us during the parade. I saw the equipment, including the tanks that from the times of World War II, and I saw the modern equipment, and we would like to see the cooperation between our countries developing rapidly, developing swiftly, and acquire new shapes and forms. We thank you for your attitude towards Burkina Faso. Today I visited Mendeleev Institute, and we understand that apart from defense and security, there is another essential field, which is science and education, and we would like to see Russia assisting us in training and educating our youth to help us to develop our own industries, our own enterprises.
True.
Machinery, other types of manufacturing, because it's very important for Africa.
True.
We believe that terrorism that we can see today is a legacy of imperialism, and that's something that we fight against. If we put an end to this war, if we have a strong army, then we can develop our land. This is why we continue to fight. That is why we have this struggle. That's why it's important to train personnel, to educate people. In Africa, Africa needs a lot when it comes to equipment, when it comes to technology and machinery, and there are a lot of expectations in this regard. And that's why we still need to do a lot, we need to work a lot, and we would like to request an assistant, and the most important thing you can help with is this exchanges, transfers of technology, exchange of experience. We need to understand how we can use the experience and the know-how that the Russian university.
Wow. Burkinabe, you got a president. Ibrahim Traore, you a president. Listen to what he is asking for. Yeah, he's asking everything he is asking is for Africa, not Burkinabe. The guy is pro-Africa, is thinking wider. He's thinking in a wider picture, a wider perspective of Africa, not his country, Burkinabe. Ibrahim Traore, we got you.
Universities have, and how we can spread it to Burkina Faso, how we can open branches of the Russian universities and Burkina Faso to be more efficient in the way we educate our people, our citizens. This is the essential task that we are faced with. We would like to see Burkina Faso developing, and we would like to see students coming to us to learn various sciences. We can see great young people in the Russian Federation. Among them, there are a lot of researchers, young scientists, and we would like to learn from you. And another important area is military. We have a lot of projects in the field of defense.
Wow. Wow. Oh, that's amazing. So beautiful. Yeah, Ibrahim Traore,